Hi, staff. Welcome back to another episode of just Teacher Tips and Tricks. Today I'm going to be teaching you a TPT strategy, and TPT stands for Total Participation Technique. And basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be playing a game called Odd One Out. And Odd One Out can be played in any content area. I just happened to be showing it today with an 8th grade social studies standards. And we are going to be looking at 4 images. And these can be images, they can be numbers, they can be phrases, they can be whatever you want, okay? And we're going to be looking and studying these 4 images, and I'm going to be asking my students here. I have Prince here and I have Tracy here. They are my students in my classroom. I'm going to be asking them which image does not fit. And the images we're going to be looking today are of Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner, and Robert Smalls. So I am going to, normally I would have this on the board up on a slide or on a board or even maybe just a handout on their computer to look at. And we are going to be playing Odd One Out. So I'm going to start with you, Prince, okay?
Yes,
I'm going to show you these images, and you can kind of look at them, take them in for a second. Who doesn't fit in those images?
I would say Harriet Tubman.
Tell me why Harriet Tubman doesn't fit with them.
Because she was the only one that actually freed slaves.
How did she free slaves? What was her process?
Well, she took them. Well, it was a thing called the Underground Railroad track.
Okay.
But it really wasn't like a train or anything.
Tell me what it was.
It was just safe places where people would help her hide them in houses. And
Do you know about how many slaves she freed?
about I think 70.
Yeah, it's around 70. Really good. Good job. Okay. Tracy, we're to you now. Who do you think doesn't fit?
I'm going to go with Nat Turner.
Tell me why you think Nat Turner doesn't fit.
Because Nat Turner was very violent.
Okay, he led a very violent rebellion, right? How many people did he kill?
About 60.
Okay. What else is different about him?
I have no idea.
Did he say anything that might have led him to do these things?
He said that he spoke to God.
Okay, and
So he was hearing things.
Okay, so he was hearing things. Okay, awesome. Good job. Prince, if I had to pick out another one, so we've taken out Harriet Tubman and we've taken out Nat Turner, who else would you say wouldn't fit?
Robert Smalls.
Tell me why.
He was the only one out of this whole group that held an office.
Oh, he held a government office too.
Yes,
Anything else that we learned about Robert Smalls that was pretty fantastic?
And he made it where they didn't discriminate. That everyone could go to school and get.
Do you
an
remember what
education.
state that was in? It's one of the Carolinas.
Oh, North Carolina.
It's actually South Carolina.
Carolina.
It's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It was South Carolina, and he made public education available to everyone, regardless of what. What does that mean to you
skin color.
as a student?
Well, what it means to me is important because I think it's right for everyone to be able to go to school with each other and
Yeah,
get
that's a
the
basic
same
human right.
education. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
good job. Okay, Tracy, I hate to tell you, but you're going to have to pick Frederick Douglass because that's the only one that is left.
Okay.
Tell me why you think Frederick Douglass would not go with the rest of them.
Frederick Douglass, he never got his hands dirty.
What do you mean
never
by that?
He never had to get down help people physically.
Physically help people escape from slavery. What did he do then?
He gave speeches. He wrote.
And he wrote books.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he did. So yeah, he didn't necessarily help the way Harriet Tubman helped, and he wasn't combative like Nat Turner, but he did. He wrote speeches and some books that help people understand and educate other people around the country. Good job. All right. This is the last section. So we're going to take that odd one out strategy and we're going to make it applicable to numbers and math. And like I said, this is a strategy you can use in any area when you have 4 topics that are very similar, but you're wanting to create that discourse in your classroom for students to be able to show you what they've learned from the content. So I went ahead, we're going to pretend we're in a 2nd grade classroom or a 1st grade classroom. And we're going to look at some numbers. And we're going to play odd one out with some numbers that I put up here. I put 6, 15, 12, and 8. And I am going to ask Prince, I want you to study these numbers for me.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
What number do you think does not belong?
I would say 15 because it's not a multiple of 2.
What does that mean? It's not a multiple of 2.
Like, I would say like 2, 4, 6, 8. That's how we get that.
Okay.
And then-
So when we skip count, we're not going to ever land on 15, are we?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
we're not.
very good. I like that strategy. But all the other numbers we will
Yes,
land?
ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Miss Tracy, what number would you say would not belong?
I'm going to go with 8
Tell me why.
because all of the other numbers are multiples of 3.
What does that mean?
That means that 3 will go into all of them.
Oh, 3. All those other numbers are divisible by 3.
Yes.
That means 3 fits into them equally. Very good. All right, Prince, I'm going to come back to you.
I'm going to go back to 15.
You're going to choose 15 again?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why you're going to choose 15 again.
Because it's an even number.
Ah, it's a different way to say it's not a multiple of 2. It's just to say that it's even.
Yes,
When
ma'am.
you have an even number, what are you able to do with an even number? How can you split it?
Hey, hold on. Hey.
You want to phone a friend? You want to help?
Yes, ma'am.
How can you split it?
Like both sides are going to be exactly the same.
The same.
They're going to be
yeah.
exactly the same, right? So 15, would 15 be exactly the same on each side? Could I split it?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, no.
I
No, no,
couldn't,
no,
right?
no,
It's
no.
gonna now, but let me ask you a question. Let's pretend that 15 are cookies.
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm thinking about in balloons. If there were 15 balloons, no, I can't split one other balloon, right? What will happen if
no.
I try to split it?
It'll pop.
It's gonna pop,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
But if I had 15 cookies, could I split the 15th cookie?
Yes, ma'am.
I could split it in what?
In half.
In half. So I would have 7 and a half,
Half.
and 7 and a half, right?
ma'am.
And that 7 and a half and 7 and a half make 15, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're right. If I was working with balloons, I couldn't split it, right? And so back to me explaining to you guys. This is just a good discourse strategy again to have your students talking in class and thinking about numbers or thinking about whatever topic you're teaching in whatever subject area. And it elicits those responses so you can check for that understanding without necessarily having to use a worksheet. You can see who's struggling in those areas and kind of what you need to help them on. We will be back with other total participation techniques.